All right, I want to talk about the realities of sports betting, the true realities of being a professional sports bettor. Now, with the internet, the legalization of sports betting, legalization of gambling all across the country, there's tons and tons of people that come on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, whatever, and say they win every day, or they win every week, or they win every month, and it's simply not the case. All right, I have a graph for you guys, and this is exactly what a graph looks like for a professional sports bettor. There's ups, there's downs, goes back up, goes back down, up a little more, down a little more, up, and you see it ends up. So if you zoom out on a year-to-year basis, this is what it looks like, with many more micro ups and downs in between, obviously. But when you zoom out from a January to December standpoint, this is what you can expect if you're doing things the right way. Every time you start to go down, people quit. This is why 99.9% of people cannot actually make money betting sports, because of parlays, of chasing, not managing their bankroll correctly, mismanaging unit sizes. When they start to go down, you have a cold streak or a losing streak, which is inevitable. Anybody that says they don't have a losing day, they don't have a losing week, they don't have a losing month, they're simply lying to your face. Billy Walters, greatest sports bettor of all time, has came out very publicly and said he's had multiple losing months. Happens to everybody. But this is a long-term game. Guys, this is why mindset is so important in sports betting. All that matters is that from where you start in January and where you finish in December is up. Year to year, decade to decade. Winning every single year is what's most important. Growing your bankroll, compounding your bankroll, managing the ups and downs, it's all part of it. As long as you can compound your bankroll and win year after year, you're going to make a lot of money betting sports. You're going to make a lot of money. Now, where average bettors fall off is when you start to go on a cold streak, or you have a losing day, or a losing week, or a losing month. They quit. They double, triple, quadruple bet on plays that they should not. They start doing parlays, small risk, high reward. Everybody loves parlays. If you look back on your entire betting career, and you had a gun to your head and you had to say, are you up or down betting parlays? Everybody, gun to their head, would say they're down, and they would be correct. Everybody says parlays is a sucker bet, and it's absolutely the case. Parlays are a slow drain to your bankroll. Stay away from parlays. Very simple. They're fun, they're tempting. There is a negative EV associated with parlays for a reason. Sports books love parlays. Vegas loves parlays for a reason. Now, if you're doing things the right way and you're straight betting, you're disciplined with your bankroll, you're managing your unit sizes, you ride a hot streak up, you lose a little bit, you go down. You stay with it, you go back up. You come down, back up. I finish here and I start here. But in between, it's all these ups and downs. And as soon as you start going down, the average bettor, the unseasoned sports bettor, the person with a weak mindset, they're going to quit, they're going to chase, they're going to destroy their bankroll. Now, a lot of times throughout the year, a good majority of the yearly profit that I make, or that all professional sports bettors make, comes on an insanely hot streak, right? I had a 2-week stretch in June, or less than 2 weeks in June, where I made $200,000. Now, I had a cold streak in March. If I had just blown my bankroll in March chasing that cold streak, thinking it eventually has to come back, which it does come back, but if I had no patience and I was just chasing that cold streak in March, I would never have had the bankroll to make it all back in June plus some. This is where people need to expand their mindset, zoom out, and truly look at the long-term scale. You have to manage your unit sizes correctly. You have to trust the process. Where most average bettors go wrong and where they lose and blow up their bankroll and fall off is on those cold streaks. And then they never make it to those hot streaks where they get back all their losses plus a bunch of profit. I might have 4, 5, 6 insane hot streaks throughout the year. I'm talking week, 2 week, 3 week, a month straight, where we're winning at a very, very abnormally high percentage. This is where a lot of the yearly profits come into play. A lot of big gains happen on those hot streaks. And in order to ride those hot streaks, you need to manage your bankroll correctly during the cold streaks, or you're simply not going to make it to those hot streaks to get all that profit that you need. The whole entire point of sports betting is finding value on a long-term time scale. Finding value day after day, week after week, month after month results in year-to-year profit, starting here and finishing here. Of course, there's ups and downs throughout the entire way. Anyone that tells you there isn't ups and downs in sports betting or trading stocks is simply lying. It's a very similar approach to sports betting and trading stocks. Find value. The amount of value I find determines how big we go: quarter unit, half unit, 1 unit, 1.5 unit, 2 units, on occasion a 3-unit play, very rare. But riding these hot streaks is where we're going to find a lot of profit, and managing our bankroll through these cold streaks is what's going to get us to these hot streaks. Nobody wins every single day. Nobody wins every single week. It's just simply not the case in sports betting. So when we have bad weeks or bad months, weather the storm. Lower your unit sizes a little bit. Wait for things to pick up a little bit more. Wait till you get on a little hot streak. Wait till you get back on the right track. Then you go full bore. In the long term, let's just say even over the course of just 1 year, so many people, so many bettors, I see it time and time again, simply don't have the patience. They don't have the discipline. They're not consistent enough to wait for that value to swing back around and be on the upswing. If they have a bad day or a bad week, I've seen people just quit and fall off and blow up their bankroll in a matter of days. These people are going to be lifetime losers at sports betting. They're simply not going to win because they simply don't have the habits and discipline that it takes. This isn't just picking games. Which team do you think is going to win? If you want to make money year after year betting sports, you have to be disciplined. You have to be consistent. You have to find value. And a lot of people don't understand. A lot of the times we'll find value and the play will lose. Just last night, we had the under in an NFL game. Line opened at 44, 43. Went down to 42, went down to 41. We got 42.5. That line closed at 41. We found value in that game. We lost by half a point. Does that mean that it was a bad play and we shouldn't have bet it? No. Every single time I find those systems come up and I find value in that scenario, in that case, we're going to take it, because in the long run, that play is going to win a lot more than it loses. That's what people don't understand about sports betting. Let's say you're a car salesman and you've been selling cars for years, making a bunch of money, right? Let's say on average you sell 10 cars a month. Well, let's say 1 month comes, you have a slow month, you only sell 2 cars. Are you going to go back and rewrite the whole process and, oh my God, I have to change my sales pitch and I have to change how I talk to customers and I have to change this and change that? Of course not. You've been making money selling cars for years. You know exactly how it goes, and you just had a slow month. You're not going to change the entire process, the entire system, the entire way you go about things just because you had 1 slow month. It's the same case with sports betting. You're going to continuously find value day in and day out. And when those hot streaks come, we ride them all the way to the top. Sometimes hot streaks last days, sometimes they last weeks. On a rare case, I've had a hot streak gone 2 or 3 months on a massive heater, winning 90% of our weeks over the course of 2 or 3 months. In order to get to that spot, in order to get to those hot streaks, you have to make it through the cold streaks. You have to understand that you're not living and dying every single day with your bets. There are going to be days where you have great plays and they lose. There are going to be days where you have great plays and they win. There are going to be days where you think you find value and the lines close and you actually didn't find value. The line closed you could have got a better line if you had waited right before kickoff or right before first pitch or right before tip-off to bet a game. Sometimes those win anyway, sometimes those lose. So it's important as a sports bettor always to go back and reevaluate what line you got, where the line closed at, and how much value you found. The biggest things that are holding people back from winning in sports betting is weathering the storm on cold streaks. Simply quitting, changing the process, giving up on a cold streak. Cold streaks are inevitable. They happen to everybody. Changing the entire process, changing the way you do things because you lost one day or 1 week or 1 month. Chasing, mismanaging unit sizes, not having discipline, and parlays. If you could stay away from those things and you can do things the right way over a long period of time, you're going to make a lot of money. If you compound your bankroll over a long period of time, you're going to make a lot of money. I referenced this in my last video. You could start with a $6,000 bankroll, making 50 units a year. That's only just over 4 units a month. You make 4 units a month. You only have to win 4 more times and you lose. 4 units a month at a $6,000 bankroll. If you compound that year after year, you could, in 5 years, you'll end up with a $98,000 bankroll. Absolutely insane what you can do in sports betting with discipline, with the right mindset, with the right systems in place, not betting parlays, not mismanaging unit sizes, not chasing. It's very simple, but it's a lot easier said than done. And that's simply why the 99.9% are what they are and the 0.1% are what we are. It takes a lot of learning. You have to blow up your bankroll multiple times. I've blown my bankroll to zero so many times, way more times than I could fucking count in my life before I decided I'm never going to do that shit again. I'm never going to bet crazy parlays for an absurd amount of money again. I'm not going to chase anymore. I'm not going to bet 5 units on a play I should be betting half a unit on. Once I decided I'm not going to do that stuff anymore, I've made more money than I could imagine betting sports in such a short period of time. Discipline, consistency, doing things the right way, guys. It's boring. It's not always fun. The bet slips I post when I win, they're not always fun. We're not betting and winning these crazy $5 to $17,000 parlays. You're simply not going to make money in the long term doing that. Straight betting games that we find value on the right way, with the right unit sizes, compounding our bankroll is how we're going to make money long-term betting sports. And I'm a living, breathing example of that. And my clients are as well. The ones that don't quit, the ones that stay with the process, the ones that manage the units correctly, the ones that don't do parlays every single day, those are the ones that are going to make money year after year with me. And that's exactly what they've been doing the past 2 years. I get DMs from people all the time. Like, look at this DM. Don't be like this guy. Do not be this guy. Some people, they'll buy my plays and they simply cannot help themselves but bet parlays. They can't help but parlay all my games or add their own games and parlay. The people that can't follow directions, the people that can't listen, the people that can't help themselves will never elevate themselves. It's very, very simple.